Welcome back to The Educated Barfly, my friends. I was perusing the pages of Punch, the web pages of Punch, that is, and I came across an article of like their favorite spring cocktails for this season. And I was, oh, that's pretty interesting. We're in the, throes of spring now. Let's see what they got. And the first cocktail was one of the cocktails from the bar in LA called Vandel, which is on Hyperion across the street from Big Bar. It is a fantastic bar. I think it's my favorite bar program in the city right now that I've been to lately. So like my favorite new LA bar program is at Vandel. What's up, guys? We have been getting weekly emails about this juicer for months and months and months and months and months, maybe even a year. And I've got really good news for you. The powder-coated gray Barfly juicer is now in stock on our website, so go get them before they're gone because we've got a limited quantity. The cocktail that we're doing today is called the Green Pepper, and it is a little bit of... It's a little complicated. There's a lot of moving parts. There's things to make in this cocktail. I apologize ahead of time.
I feel like all the pepper cocktails, like the yellow pepper.
I know, it's always like, no, the yellow, you know what? I gotta say, like Gabby's drinks are very culinary and they, some of them have some prep, but they're not super prep. I mean, some of them are super prep heavy. Like this one is a little bit prep heavy. What's nice is that like you can juice and make everything ahead of time. And so like at time of service, you have everything bottled and ready to go. What did we prep? Well, we prepped a sweet and sour cordial, water, sugar, citric acid, and malic acid. Pretty weird tasting. Obviously, cocktails need acid. Some of the acid's coming from here. And then we also juiced some green pepper, hence the green pepper. They actually make their own chili tincture, and I was actually making my own chili tincture, but I didn't make chili tincture this time. So I got Scrappy's. I got a little freaked out about the chili tincture because I found out something about chili peppers that freaked me out. Chili peppers don't have enough acid in them to not grow the bacteria botulism, which would then give you botulism, which is a horrible and painful thing to get. I did find out that if you freeze dry the peppers first and infuse it into booze, because you're removing the moisture, there's nothing for the botulism to grow, so it is safer and unlikely to grow botulism, but it freaked me out, so I just decided I would use some commercially available habanero, Hellfire bitters, and then if I get botulism, I can use Scrappy's instead. But they do a habanero tincture themselves. I'll put the recipe, for everything below. You can decide whether or not you want to risk it. It kind of freaked me out a little bit though, and I don't really get freaked out by that much, so just saying, just putting that little tidbit of information out there. I'm really hoping that some scientifically minded YouTube people prove me wrong on this so I can feel good about making chili tinctures again. So we're just gonna get into making this cocktail now and you're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna do 2 dashes of our Hellfire bitters, 1/4 ounce of Blanc Vermouth, 1/2 ounce green Chartreuse. Don't bellyache, just use an alternative if you don't have it, okay? I don't wanna hear your complaining. Then we're gonna use our stand-in for lime lemon acid. We're gonna do 1 ounce of our cordial, our sweet and sour cordial. Next, we're gonna do 1 ounce of our green pepper juice.
What kind of pepper, like bell pepper?
Yeah, bell pepper. Yeah, sorry, bell pepper juice. Did I not say bell pepper before? And then 1 1/4 of our Tequila Blanco. We're gonna put this in a Georgian punch glass. Hopefully I think it's gonna be fine. Hand flavored ice it is.
You lost them again?
Lost it again. Ooh, really frothy. I like that. Semi-chilled glass, just, chill your glasses better than I did just now. And give it a strain. Ooh, might be too voluminous for this glass. Dang, it's pretty good though. I'm dying to taste this. Oh my God, that is good. Oh man, that's super sharp and tart. Wow. The sweet and sour cordial mixed with the bell pepper gives it not only like a spring garden vibe, but it also kind of like tastes a little bit like lime, which is kind of cool. And then you've got the tequila, you get all of the agave notes that you want. You get the spice, but it's not overly done. That is really good. And the Blanc Vermouth, giving a little herbalness to it. So it's like herbal, it's bright, it's refreshing, it's super crisp, really nice. I would call this a brunch spring cocktail, and then not to mention that the Chartreuse is not lost in here. You get that sort of anise and some of the other botanicals of the Chartreuse. If anything, I'm wondering how the Blanc Vermouth is playing in here with the Chartreuse. Is it getting lost? I can't really tell, but it's really herbal, so it could just all be melding into this one beautiful flavor profile, but it is really good. It's really, really, really nice cocktail. This is one of my favorites, I think, from recent memory. It's really, really good. And that, my friends, is why Vandel is one of my favorite cocktail programs in the city right now. They're just doing really awesome, very creative, fun cocktails. It's a nice environment. So there it is, the green pepper from Vandel. All right, next cocktail is called a Praying Mantis. It's from Brandon Bramhall of Attaboy, Nashville. And Attaboy, Nashville is actually the very first Attaboy that I went to.
Funny, we just were talking about grasshoppers and ants, and now we're doing a Praying Mantis.
Praying Mantis, yeah, that's true. That's really weird. So this is Attaboy, Nashville. Attaboy, Nashville is the second Attaboy location from the one in New York, which was famously started by some Milk and Honey alum, Sam Ross and Michael Madrusin, I believe, from Milk and Honey. And it is a fantastic bar. This one is a play on the penicillin, and it utilizes the ingredient you're gonna have to be making for this one is sweetened ginger juice. I put ginger in a masticating juicer, okay? Because the way that I make ginger syrup usually is, I actually got this from one of our absolute favorite bartenders, Jeff.
Morgenthaler?
Him. And yes, Jeff Morgenthaler, and he we just do like equal parts rough cut ginger water and sugar. Blend it in a blender. Blend it till the ginger is pulverized and the sugar is dissolved, and then you just put it in a nut milk bag. You're done. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy. Before that, ginger syrup making was terrible. But this is literally just the ginger juice and sugar. 1 cup of ginger juice to 3/4 of a cup of sugar, which means that there is no water content. It's literally just ginger juice and sugar. And for that, I used a masticating juicer. Masticating juicer, if you don't know, is like one of those cold press juicers that has like a nut. You could also use maybe like the Breville juice fountain. That is not masticating. It's not, that one actually has like a spinning motor and it, but it's gonna be kind of a pain. I don't know if you can do this in a blender because there's no water added. So you kind of need a juicer for it. But it also calls for Islay Scotch. The only Islay Scotch I have on hand is Lafroig 10, so that's what we're using. I'm not sure if that's what was used. I'm sure it wasn't. Maybe it was like Peat Monster from Compass Box. I don't know. That's the only Islay Scotch I have right now. That is what we're using today. All right, first thing, no. Let's do this right, shall we? Let's just do this right. We're gonna start with the fruit like we're supposed to. We're gonna do 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. Very easy, equal parts cocktail. 3/4 ounce of sweetened ginger juice. I'm gonna move to our spirits. We're gonna do 3/4 ounce of Gran Classico. Now, a lot of you guys are gonna ask me what you can sub this with. Gran Classico is an Aperitivo bitter, so I'm sure this would work with other ones, but Gran Classico has a lot of added botanicals. There is a story that Tempus Fugit found an old Campari recipe from back in the day, and then followed that to sort of make the basis for this Gran Classico. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is a lot more complex, as you can see. It's not super bright red Aperitivo. It's a little darker in color, and it's a lot more complex on the flavor palette. There's a lot more, prevalent botanicals in it. So just so you know, you might have to actually find this and get it. 3/4 ounce, but you could do it with Aperol or Campari or Select or any of the other, you could probably do it. I'm sure it would work, but it would be a different drink. And last but not leastly, 3/4 ounce of our Islay Scotch. I was actually wanting to make this drink because somebody had said, I'm so glad that you guys did a Scotch cocktail. There's not enough Scotch cocktails. And it's true. And you wouldn't think of a Scotch cocktail as a spring cocktail either. You would think of it more as a fall cocktail, but
as a smoke. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Smells like a penicillin. Here, we're gonna do the whole, I like to offset these, just give it a little visual appeal. I wanna try and do this in as much of a V shape as you can to be able to spin it. Did I say spin it? Pin it, not spin it. And then you can just open it up, stick it on like so. There it is, the Praying Mantis. Whoa, it's like, bam, 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 ginger in your face. That's exactly what it tastes like. Super gingery, really smoky. The Gran Classico definitely gives it this really robust, back palate bitterness, but what's crazy is that the back palate bitterness just melds into the spice of the ginger, and it's super spicy on the back palate, and then you have all of that smoke and salinity, super and like peat mossy and like campfirey. I'd like want to rename this the campfire cocktail because it's a very campfirey, very gingery, and the lemon kind of takes a little bit of a back seat to that big spicy ginger, but it is still prevalent. It has its own balance. It's a nice cocktail. I think I might only be able to drink one of these because it's very spicy and smoky. But I gotta say, a good addition to the cocktails of spring, and something that's a little bit left field from what you would think of a spring as a spring cocktail. Like, not everything has to be made with like pea tendrils and carrots, you know? So here it is, the Praying Mantis. The Day-O Old Fashioned. So it's like Day-O as in the song.
Day-O.
Yeah, as in that song from...
Oh, I thought it was a Beetlejuice.
It's not from Beetlejuice. It's like a 1950s song.
No,
No, but I should know this because it was like, what's his name? That
Belafonte?
Harry Belafonte, yes. Named after the Harry Belafonte song. The Day-O Old Fashioned. Daylight come and be wonderful. Or the Day-O Fashioned? No, the Day-O Old Fashioned. Created by a bartender in Houston and a bartender bar owner at a place called Birds of Paradise. And that person's name is Robin Berwick. I just thought it would be kind of fun to do this old fashioned because old fashions, again, it's just like another one that kind of plays against expectations. You don't really see old fashions in spring cocktails, but it also, I was given this tool to test. It calls for 2 thin strips of orange peel, and this tool can give me those thin strips like very nicely. Like, look at that. And it cuts the peel very easily, super clean, and you know what? It's almost impossible to hurt yourself with it, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna put that away. I needed it for this cocktail. I'm not telling anybody what it is yet. I wasn't even given permission to put it on here. I was just given it and said, hey, can you test this out and give me some thoughts on it? And that's exactly what I did. First things first, we're gonna do some Angostura bitters. Calls for 2 dashes. Japanese bitters dasher is gonna do 4. And then we're gonna take our strips of orange, we're gonna put them in here, and we're gonna give them a little muddle right in the pants. Get all those nice oils going in the bottom of this cocktail. There we go, we got our things in there. Now what we're gonna do here, 1/4 ounce of our banana liqueur. We're gonna do 3/4 ounce of some dark rum. We're doing this 100 proof Merchant's Reserve. They use Worthy Park 109, but I don't have Worthy Park 109, so Merchant's Reserve it is, 3/4 ounce. And then I love a split base rye rum cocktail. It's one of my favorite things. 3/4 ounce of our bonded rye. We gotta go shopping. And then last but certainly not least, we're just coming in with a bar spoon of cold brew concentrate. We're just gonna add our ice in like so. Just add in a bunch of ice. Just add in as much ice as the glass will hold. Give it a stir. Oh gosh. Trying to make all those little pieces of ice go far, but. All right, that's it. And what we're gonna do, we've got a little Cara orange. We're just gonna do a little orange slice in here, like so. And then we're gonna do a little Luxardo, or you know, if you wanna do one of those Tosky Marasca cherries, that's cool too. Let's take a sip. Oh man, boozy. Ooh, coffee. Ooh, banana-y. Ooh, rummy. Ooh, rye. Oh man, I love this cocktail. It tastes like all of those things. You get the banana, you get the coffee right up front, you get the Angostura bitters bringing in a little bit of spice and a little coffee spice in there. And then you've got the rye whiskey. The rye whiskey is gonna be given a little bit of spice and a little bit of that bready, yeasty sort of dry flavor that it has on top of some of the more tropical notes of the rum. And then you've got the banana. We're using the Tempest Fugit, so you got that kind of banana bread flavor. If you wanted to go for something a little bit more like sugary banana, you could do like a Giffard Banana do Brazil in here. Both are very good options for this cocktail. There it is, guys. That's all I gotta say. The Day-O Old Fashioned. Today's Educated Barfly video is sponsored by The Educated Barfly. I don't know if you guys know this, some of you do, some of you don't, but we've got lots of really good products in our store and we are constantly adding to those products. One of our very new additions, freeze-dried garnishes. So whereas a dehydrated garnish gives you sort of like a more tea-like caramelized scent, the freeze-dried version of that is a little bit brighter, and then all the sugars when you freeze dry it come to the surface, and so you get a very bright, fresh orange flavor. These guys have been a real big hit since we put them in the store. We get lots of orders for them. We also have a little bit of glassware. We have our now kind of iconic Nick and Nora style glass that we did in a regular and honeycomb pattern. This is a 6-ounce glass, kind of Nick and Nora style. And we have a brand new, more coupe style glass. It's 7 ounces. We also have the honeycomb pattern in this as well. So if you're a fan of the channel and you want to help us out, this is a very good way to help the channel and then also get something out of it. A lot of this is the glassware that you see in our videos, and so you'll be able to recreate the same cocktails that we make in the studio at home with the best possible recipes, the best possible instructions, and now the best possible glassware and garnishes.
I want to use a specific glass for this, and I didn't put it in the fridge, and I don't even know where it is, and I have to find it. Nah, nah, nah.
I feel like the praying mantis should be like some sort of
Green
hardcore
cocktail?
Yeah, like
Cocktail that is green?
kind of like a hardcore grasshopper version.
Right. Well, maybe we can do that. The new praying mantis. I don't know why this is called praying mantis, but